sevens, eights, nines, and tens, and I'm just a solid 3.
If you're a solid 3, then I might be like a 2.5 or what? No, I prefer to think that we are 8.5, 9 or 9.5.
Yeah,
Something like
we're
that.
8s and 9s.
Yeah,
What do the
yes.
rest of you think? Are all of us guys, are we 8s and 9s?
I think
Andres
they prefer not to
Felipe.
say anything.
Andres Felipe,
Tell me, teacher.
what number are you? How do you rate yourself 1 to 10?
I am 10.
You're a 10. Good man.
Yeah.
Good
Oh
man.
my goodness. Okay, so he's a bit better than us.
How about Michael? What do you call it? 1 to 10. Where are you?
No, I think nine.
Well, we've got a little connection problem there. I heard 9.
Yes.
How about you, Andres?
Point
What's your number, Andres?
is a good number for me.
What's a good number for you?
For me,
Sure.
I think I 8. I'm still working to get to 10.
You're an 8 going for 10. All right,
Yes,
good man.
exactly.
All right. I'm 3 going for 4.
Let's see what ladies say.
Oh,
Yeah,
we had that conversation yesterday. The women rated the men.
Really? All right.
Yes. Yes. I got us into a lot of trouble yesterday. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good thing I didn't come to the class. So.
Ariana did a good qualification.
Oh,
Yes.
all right.
All
Who
right.
was that? Who? All right. Okay. Okay, Mike. So I give you the class now.
Okay. Have a good afternoon or evening. I'll talk with you soon.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Let's see. Yes. See you later. Talk
Bye.
later. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. So, questions? Are we bored with Breakout Star soon? Are we going to have to change to a different topic, or are we good? We're almost done. I think we're only about 1 or 2 more days, and then you can practice when you want, and then we'll move to a different story. Is that okay?
Okay, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, teacher.
I don't want you to get bored.
Okay, teacher.
We can't get bored. We have to keep it exciting, right? Okay. Now I need to share my sound and fix my sound. Okay. So here we are. All right, this is where we finished yesterday, I think. All right. All right, so we are going to start right here again. And let's listen.
She's got a surfer vibe, blonde hair, beachy waves. They had chemistry. But as a viewer, she didn't seem like a front runner. I kind of kept forgetting who Cassie was.
I think with Cass, the best way to describe our relationship is it was such a slow burn. And it was in a weird way in the dynamic of the Bachelor franchise where it's supposed to be quick and fast and intense. It was sort of a relief to find a normal relationship in which it was a slower burn, in which it was a more realistic approach to a relationship. And I think it was just, it was almost like when I was with Cass, it was like a breath of fresh air.
Okay. Mariana,
Sí, digo, yes.
Can you start here again, please, with "She's got a surfer vibe" and read through "Breath of fresh air"?
Okay. She's got a surfer vibe, blonde hair, beachy waves. They had chemistry, but as a viewer, she didn't seem like a front runner. I kind of kept forgetting who Casey was. I think with Cass, the best way to describe our relationship is it was such a slow burn. And it was, in a weird way, in the dynamic of the Bachelor franchise, where it's supposed to be quick and fast and intense. It was sort of a relief to find a normal relationship in which it was a slower burn and which it was a more realistic approach to our relationship. And I think it was almost like when I was with Cass. I was like a breath of fresh air.
It was like.
It was like a breath of fresh air.
Okay, good. Okay. So, Mariana, how does Colton describe his relationship with Cass? What is the best way to describe his relationship with Cass?
It was such a slow burn.
Right. So he uses the word "such," and that means very or extremely, or it's a modifier. It just means very slow, or it modifies slow burn to say it was an extremely slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What is the dynamic of The Bachelor supposed to be?
It's supposed to be quick and fast and intense.
Is the dynamic of The Bachelor supposed to be slow and boring?
No, it isn't.
Is the dynamic of The Bachelor supposed to be red and blue?
No, it isn't.
So what is the dynamic of The Bachelor supposed to be?
The dynamic of The Bachelor, it's supposed to be quick and fast and intense.
Good. Was Colton relieved to find a normal relationship? Was he relieved? Was it a relief to find a normal relationship?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. He was relieved. Good. Marco, can you please give me the next paragraph?
Okay. Hi, teacher.
Hi.
So toward the end of the season, there are down just 3 women. Cassie, his favorite. Hannah, who the producer think is his favorite. And Taisha, the token black girl. They're all in Portugal, and they each have an overnight date scheduled with Colton, but someone has to be eliminated by the end of the episode.
Good. So a couple of very small things. Favorite.
Okay.
No, not favorite.
Favorite.
2 syllables. Favorite. Yes. Cassie, his favorite. Hannah, who the producers think is his favorite. And Taisha, the token black girl. Good. Another one for English. Portugal. Not Portugal. No, Portugal.
Portugal.
Yes. Okay. And Scheduled.
schedule,
Scheduled.
schedule.
Yes, a difficult word to pronounce. Scheduled, even difficult for native English speakers. Scheduled, okay? And you want to say eliminated,
Eliminate.
right? That's the way you want to say it from Spanish pronunciation, okay? Eliminated,
Eliminated.
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 Good, perfect. Eliminated.
Eliminated.
Yes. So one more time, best as you can.
Okay. So toward the end of the season, there in Portugal just 3 women. Cassie, his favorite, Hannah, who the producers think is his favorite, and Tisha, the token black girl. They're in Portugal and they each live overnight date scheduled with Colton, but someone has to be eliminated by the end of the episode.
Okay. Now I'm going to say a sentence and I want you to ask me a question.
Okay.
Someone has to be eliminated by the end of the episode.
S- hmm,
Any question you want. It can be an information question, or a yes question, or a no question.
okay. Has someone to be eliminated by the beginning of the episode?
Okay, now at least remember the format. Okay? We don't start a yes no question with has.
Okay. What? What is
Ask me an easy question. Ask me the who question.
who has to be eliminated by the end of the episode?
Excellent. Someone does. Now ask me the when question. When,
Okay.
having to do with time.
When has
Does,
okay, when does to be eliminated?
when does someone have to, because we're using does, we have to use to have. When does someone have to be eliminated by?
Okay. When the someone has to be eliminated
By.
by.
Mhm. But remember, when does someone have to? H-A-V-E, have. Here's the word, have to. But we don't say have to, we say, we turn this into an F sound.
Okay.
The V-E, oh, sorry. This turns into F. Have to, have to. When does someone have to be eliminated by?
Okay. When does someone have to be eliminated by?
By the end of the episode. Now, ask me the yes question, starting with does.
Does someone has to be eliminated by the end of the episode?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Does someone has to be eliminated by the beginning of the episode?
No, they don't.
Okay. And so,
So now your when question, because you changed end to beginning.
okay. So when
When does,
when has to be eliminated by?
Right. When does someone have to be eliminated by?
When does someone have to be eliminated by?
Someone has to be eliminated by the end of the episode. Good. Andrews.
Yes.
Let me try this sentence and you ask me a question about it. They're all in Portugal and they each have an overnight date scheduled with Colton. Any question? Yes, no, or information? And you don't have to use the entire sentence because this is a long sentence. Just use the part that you think should be important.
Are they all in Portugal?
Yes, they are.
Are they all in Madrid?
No, they aren't.
And do I have to ask the so question?
Well, why don't you ask me some different questions? Ask me an information question.
Okay.
Or include some other parts of the sentence. For example, what do they each have scheduled with Colton? Right? Use all the words that you're given in a sentence to make a basic information or exactly as you did, which is excellent, a basic yes/no question. Just use what you need from the sentence.
Where are they all in?
In that case, you just want to say, where are they all? We don't put in at the end.
Okay. Where are they all?
In Portugal.
Do they each have an overnight date scheduled with Colton?
Yes, they do.
Do they each have an overnight date scheduled with Colton?
What was the word? That you changed something, but I didn't hear what. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I can say overday.
No.
Okay,
But you could say daytime.
Okay, daytime. I will ask you again.
Okay.
Do they each have a daytime date scheduled with Colton?
No, they don't.
So what do they each have they have scheduled with Colton?
Perfect. They each have an overnight date scheduled with Colton. Now you have an interesting pronunciation. You're pronouncing scheduled as the British pronounce scheduled. Yes.
Yes, I think.
Okay, that's a British North American difference. Scheduled is British. Scheduled, as in SK. Scheduled is North American. Good. Very good. Aurelius.
Yes.
Hi, Aurelius.
Hi, teacher.
So, Aurelius, towards the end of the season, what are they down to?
They are down to just 3 women.
Okay, short answer. Aurelius, so towards the end of the season, what are they down to?
They're
Short answer. What's missing? I know they're down to. I told you they're down to.
just 3 women.
Perfect. At the end of the season, are they down to just 3 women?
Yes.
They
are.
Yes, they are. Good. So towards the end of the season, are they down to 5 women?
No, they aren't.
How many women are they down to?
Just 3 women.
Excellent. Women.
Women, sorry.
Women. 1 woman, 3 women. No S. Woman, women.
Women.
Good. Okay. Stay with me, Aurelis. We're going to play a little bit more of the show.
So, toward the end of the season, they're down to just 3 women. Cassie, his favorite, Hannah, who the producers think is his favorite, and Tasha, the token black girl. They're all in Portugal, and they each have an overnight date scheduled with Colton. But someone has to be eliminated by the end of the episode. I don't know exactly what the producers intended. They declined my request for an interview. But watching the show, it seemed like they were trying to get Cassie to quit. They threw a wrench in her and Colton's relationship. A wrench shaped like Cassie's dad. Colton had met Cassie's dad in an earlier episode when he asked for permission to propose. Mind you, he did this for nearly all the remaining contestants. But Cassie's dad said no.
Okay, Aurelis, did Cassie's dad say no?
Yes, he did.
Did Cassie's dad say yes?
No, he didn't.
So what did Cassie's dad say?
Cassie's dad said no.
Mm-hmm. Did Emmanuel know exactly what the producers intended? Did she know what the producers intended?
No, she didn't.
Excellent. Very, very good. No, she didn't.
No, she
Did they decline her request for an interview, the producers? Did they?
I'm not sure.
Okay, first, let's talk about the sentence. What does declined mean?
Ask
No.
for,
Nope.
Not accepting.
The request is the ask. They declined my request. She asked for an interview.
okay.
What did they say?
They didn't want to give them some explanation.
They said no.
They said no. Okay.
To decline means to say no. I decline your offer means I say no to your offer.
Okay.
Okay? So she asked for an interview. They said no. They declined her request. Okay? So did they decline Emmanuel's request for an interview?
Yes, they did.
Did they accept her request for an interview?
No, they didn't.
So what did they do with her request for an interview?
They declined the request for an interview.
Good. So now ask me the same questions. I declined. I'm telling you about Emmanuel. I'm not using the exact sentence, right? I'm saying they declined her request for an interview. Ask me some questions.
Did they decline her request for an interview?
Yes, they did.
Did they accept or
Good.
say,
Accept is
or
good.
say accept? Okay. Did they accept her request for an interview?
No, they didn't. Here, let me type the word accept.
Accept. Accept. Okay.
Accept, not accept. No. Pronounced accept.
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 Good. So did they accept?
Accept her request for an interview?
No, they didn't.
What did they?
Two ways to ask this. I asked the more complicated way. You could ask the simple way and just say, so what did they do? Or you can say, what did they do with her request for an interview?
Okay, what did they do with her request?
They declined her request for an interview. Good. David.
Teacher, I have a question before you move.
Sure. Sure.
When you were practicing with Marco, well, I'm just a bit confused because, well, you say that it doesn't sound that good if you finish a sentence with a preposition, right?
Not always. Sometimes.
Okay.
You can end.
There are
you
some
can,
exceptions, right?
many times,
Okay.
and it's also very subjective.
Okay.
Some people will, if they're editing your work, they will throw you an error every time they see a preposition at the end of a sentence. Some people are much more, in spoken language, we many times end a sentence with a preposition. But in this case, which one was it again?
Just scroll up. Eliminated by the end of the episode. Emmanuel Berry, down. Yeah, at the end.
Oh, eliminated by?
Yeah.
Yes. And what construction? I don't really remember. When did
I think the word was, when does someone have to be eliminated by? I think that was the question.
I think that's okay. I don't think that was the question. You could ask, you could change that construction and you could say, a British person, for example, would say, by when did someone have to be eliminated? Right? Because they love to put prepositions at the beginning of a phrase. We tend to be lazier and say, when do people have to be eliminated by? I think there was something else. I think it was a different construction. I'm sorry, I don't remember it. You know my short-term memory. It's not good.
Could I change the word, or could I ask the question in a different way, or maybe to make it sound better?
Give me the example of what question do you want to ask?
Yeah, about that one. About the, for example, I want to know the time when someone is going to be eliminated.
Okay, so we know the idea is at the end of every episode, one person is eliminated. Has to be.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to ask the question, about what in particular?
About when?
Okay, but about the end of the episode, right?
Yes.
Okay. And do you want that to be an information question, or is that what you want? You want to have an information question about when?
Yes, I think, yeah.
Okay. The easiest one is, when does someone have to be eliminated by? Just exactly how we said. The British way would be, by when does someone have to be eliminated?
Okay, understood.
You can change the structure of that question to say, for example, if you were going to talk about specific times in the episode, you could say, by what point in the show does someone have to be eliminated?
Yeah,
or
I think that makes so much sense.
When in the show is someone eliminated?
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
So there are more ways to construct that, but they're of the same type. You're just changing words. You're keeping the structure the same.
Yes.
It's when or by when does this happen? Does something happen?
All right, got it. Thank you, teacher.
Yes. Okay, so Dad says, I feel like, oh, wait, I had a question. Do we, there was something here. Oh, what's a breath of fresh air? What does that mean?
It's like take the air, ¿cómo sería? The chill air.
That's what it means
It's
literally. A literal
I don't know.
translation is that you are breathing fresh air. I'm asking, what does it mean in this sentence?
To think
maybe-
about the situation, the problem that you have.
Maybe that it was that the situation was more natural,
Mhm.
because in the text, in the context, Colton is talking about the dynamic of the bachelor, and he's saying that in the dynamic, everything is occurs so fast, intense, and quick. But he's making an exception with Cassie, because he's saying it's not natural of the dynamic. He says it's more real.
Yes. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Somebody else.
I think that it's like a relief.
Good. That's another good part of it.
Teacher, I understood in context like take a rest, a short rest, maybe.
Not so much that. That is when you take a rest, you're taking a breather. If you take a rest, that's called a breather. But a breath of fresh air is many of the things that you've been talking about. So let me put it in a more literal framework, okay? A literal idea. You're in a room, right? And the air is very, very bad. It's a bad situation, right? I don't know why. It's just bad air, right? It's old, all the windows are closed. And then you can open the window and the fresh air from outside blows in, and now it smells good. All right. So the important things to remember out of that are it's different than it was before, right? Before, the air was old and it smelled bad and it was not good, right? So now it's different and now it's good, right? It's better than it was before, right? And it's welcome. It's something that you wanted, okay? And that's not necessarily the same as being good. Just because something's good or that you think it's good doesn't mean you wanted it, right? And just because it's different doesn't mean it's good or that you wanted it. So a breath of fresh air is kind of something that happens spontaneously many times, but it doesn't have to be. But it's a good thing that happens that is different from what was happening before, and you're happy about it. Okay?
Yes.
Okay?
Okay, teacher, yes.
So, for example, after a long day working, coming to this class and talking to all of you is like a breath of fresh air. Okay? See? I look forward to it. It's different. It's fun. It's a breath of fresh air. Okay. All right. So here's my short-term memory again.
You were about to pick David when I interrupt you.
Yes. Good. We're right here at the far as the hand in marriage, right? Okay, so David, was David there? Did David answer? I'm sorry, David.
Yes.
I jumped off to a breath of fresh air. Okay, so let's listen to this and then I'm going to have you repeat it and then I'll ask you some questions. Okay, ready?
So I feel like as far as the hand in marriage, that would be a premature blessing.
I see where you're coming from. That's not exactly what I wanted to hear. Right.
A week later in Portugal, Colton's certain about Cassie. Cassie's confused. Again, I have no idea what the producers were thinking, but when I was watching it, it seemed like they were forcing Cassie's hand. The show allows a special guest to visit.
Later in that episode, her dad actually shows up, which nobody just accidentally shows up in Portugal. So the producers paid a pretty hefty price to fly that man on out to Portugal to come visit and spend time with his daughter to give her clarity.
Okay, David, go please.
So I feel like as far as the hand of marriage, that would be a premature blessing. I see where you're coming from. That's not exactly what I wanted to hear. A week later in Portugal, Colton's certain about Casey. Casey's confused. Again, I have no idea what the producers were thinking. But when I was watching it, it seems like they were forcing Casey's hand. The show allows a special guest to be visit. Later in that episode, her dad actually shows up, which nobody accidentally shows up in Portugal. So the producers paid a pretty hefty price to fly that man on out to Portugal to come visit and spend time with his daughter to give her clarity.
Good. Okay, so there's a couple of special things going on here. The producers paid a pretty hefty price to fly that man on out to Portugal. Okay, on is an extra word here. Most people would say to fly that man out to Portugal. Okay, on out to Portugal is something that it's meant to suggest that the idea that he flew to Portugal is a little crazy, right? He's saying flying, I know it's not, if you're trying to emphasize the fact that something was crazy or a little bit different or perhaps not normal, you, rather than just saying fly the man out to Portugal, you'd say fly him on out to Portugal, okay? I can try to think of some other examples, but that's why this is different, why it's not where the word on comes from here. Okay, so David, does the show allow a special guest to visit?
Yes, they does.
Well, you have to choose one or the other. Yes, they do, or yes, it does. You can't use plural and then use.
Okay, yes, they do.
Okay, good. So either one is okay because the show we know is a lot of people. So they do is acceptable. If literally the show is one thing. So the strict answer, if you were ever taking a test on this, if you're ever taking a test and you see the show as a singular subject, you will say, yes, it does, to get the right answer, right? In spoken speech, where we have some flexibility, what you said is exactly right. Yes, they do is perfectly fine, okay? Does the show allow a special guest to visit? Now use my form. Does the show allow a special guest to visit?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. Does the show allow Brad Pitt to visit?
No, it doesn't.
So who does the show allow to visit?
The show's allowed to visit a special guest.
Okay. A week later in Portugal, what is Colton certain about? Or
Casey.
Good. Cassie. Good. I could have said that also, who is Colton certain about? Okay, either way. So in Portugal, is Colton certain about Cassie?
Yes, he does.
Is Colton certain about Cassie?
Yes, he.
I'm sorry, one more time. In Portugal, is Colton certain about Cassie? Is he?
Yes, he is.
Good. In Portugal, is Colton certain about Hannah?
No, he isn't.
So who is he certain about?
Colton certain about Casey.
Is Colton confused?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, true, he is. Is Cassie confused?
No. Yes, he is. She is.
Good, good, good. All right. Sorry. Valentina.
Hello.
Hi, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to start right here. I'm going to play.
Cassie's dad talks to her, and she decides to leave the show.
There shouldn't be any hesitation in your mind when you meet somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. None. It's a lifelong decision. It's not something you make if you're unsure.
Cassie decides to tell Colton at dinner.
Normally during the dinners and during that, the producers are sort of hovering, or they're around to help the conversation flow, or they're there just to like bounce ideas off of, when you guys are talking. When we had that dinner, there wasn't a producer in sight. There was just the cameras and there was just the audios. Everybody else ran. And they didn't want to be near it because I think they knew that I knew.
Okay, go Valentina.
Say the sentence. Okay.
From
Cassie's
here
dad.
to here.
Okay. Cassie's dad talks to her and she decides to leave the show. There shouldn't be any hesitation in your mind when you meet somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. None. It's a lifelong decision. It's not something you make if you're unsure. Cassie decided to tell Cole at dinner. Normally, during the dinners and during that, the producers are sort of hurrying, or they are around to help the conversation flow, or they're there just to like bounce ideas of when you guys are talking. When we had that dinner, there wasn't a producer inside. There was just the cameras, and there was just the audios. Everybody else ran, and they didn't want to be near it because I think they knew that I knew.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, who decides to tell Colton at dinner? Who decides to tell Colton?
Cassie's dad.
One more time.
Cassie does.
Good. Does Cassie decide to tell Colton at dinner?
Yes, she does.
Does Cassie decide to tell Hannah at dinner?
No, she doesn't.
So who does Colton decide to tell? Who does Cassie decide to tell at dinner?
Cassie decides to tell Colton at dinner.
Okay. Okay. This sentence, go ahead with this sentence. It's not something you make if you're unsure. Try this sentence and I'll ask you some questions.
Okay. It's not something you make if you're unsure.
What's not something you make if you're unsure?
A lifelong decision.
Good. You can do one of two things. The simple answer is it is, right? But if you understand from this paragraph that it is the lifelong decision, then that's the right answer. The lifelong decision is, okay?
Okay.
Is a lifelong decision something you make if you're unsure?
Yes, it is.
Okay, now here's a tricky one.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, you're right. It's the yes. This is the positive question, but it actually has a no answer. Okay. I asked you, is a lifelong decision something you make if you're unsure? I changed
No,
the
it
not.
isn't. No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. Right, right. What is something that you should not make if you're unsure?
Lifelong decision.
A lifelong decision. Good. Should there be any hesitation in your mind when you meet somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Yes, there should.
Okay.
What would be the
Okay, now
the
listen
answer?
now. Listen now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using this sentence.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm asking you, should there be any hesitation? Remember, this is again a positive sentence, but it doesn't necessarily have a positive answer because the word here is should not. Okay, so should there be any hesitation in your mind when you meet somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with?
No, there shouldn't.
No, there should not. Good, good. What shouldn't there be in your mind when you meet somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with? What shouldn't there be?
Any hesitation.
Good, perfect. All right. Dora.
Hi, teacher.
Hey, Dora. Okay, next section. Do you want to, oops, something happened here, sorry. Do you want to go ahead or do you want me to play the recording? Do you want to start Knew They Set Him Up? You can start right here if you want.
Okay.
Do you want to hear the recording first?
Oh, no?
Okay.
Okay.
Go.
Knew that I set him up. He means at dinner. Cassie told him she's leaving. And she mentions that her dad is here in Portugal and that they have been talking, Colin clearly, has no idea that this was happening. Oh, I can see, okay. Oh.
Better?
Yeah, okay. Colin clearly has no idea that this was happening, and he turns us tough looking for someone. Oh, I was thinking I just got screwed. I was thinking that wasn't her doing. I know what the format of the show is. And for me, hearing, hey, but by the way, my dad come back, really sparked something in me. I was like, okay, so I don't have the control I thought I had. Continue?
Yes, one more second.
I feel like, okay, yeah. If I feel like my relationship's going to be messed up with or toyed with at all, I'm going to be done, especially at this point. I've completely fallen in love. I've completely gave myself all to her. I mean, I have nothing to lose at that point besides the girl and the woman that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Okay, so Dora, did Colton have the control he thought he had? Did Colton have the control he thought he had?
No, I didn't.
Good. Was he thinking that it was Cassie's doing? Was he thinking that it was Cassie's doing?
That wasn't her doing.
Okay, so yes or no? Was he thinking that it was Cassie's doing?
No, he doesn't. He was.
Was he? Okay, good, but use the right verb. Was he thinking that it was Cassie's doing?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Does he know what the format of the show is?
Yes, he is.
Does he, listen to the question, does he know what the format of the show is?
I don't know what happened with me today. teacher.
Drinking.
Asleep.
It's
Asleep.
all drinking.
Asleep.
Okay, so.
Yes, he does.
Okay, yes, he does. Good, good, good.
Okay.
And when Colton heard, by the way, my dad came back, what did it do? When he heard, hey, by the way, my dad came back, what did it do?
Really sparked something in me.
Well, it really sparked something in him, not in you.
Okay, he.
Okay, I asked you when he heard, hey, my dad came back. That's Cassie saying, hey, my dad came back. Okay, what did it do?
Really sparked something in him.
Okay, and so what did he realize about the control he had? What did he realize?
He don't have. He don't have.
Well, I don't have, but we're talking about him.
Okay, he don't have. He don't have the control.
No, he don't. That's not right. He, she, it.
He,
she, and it doesn't.
He doesn't have.
I don't, they don't, we don't, you don't. He, she, it doesn't have the control.
Yeah, he doesn't have.
Right. Very good. Has he completely fallen in love?
Yes, he have.
Has he completely fallen in love with Hannah?
Yes, he has.
Really? Has he completely fallen in love with Hannah?
No, he isn't. He hasn't.
Good. No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Very good. All right. So, Dora, go back to your beer. And,
to my bed.
Oh, sure. Jairo, are you here?
I'm here, teacher.
Okay, good. Can you start here? So Colton's about to lose.
All the paragraph?
Starting here.
Okay. So Colton's about to lose the girl that he loves, and in a perverse way, it's kind of his fault. When Colton started lying about who he liked most on his list, the show's not really built that forward. It's as if an inanimate subject suddenly became sentient. Basically, he compromised the entire experiment. He sort of played himself.
Okay, good. So who did Colton sort of play? Who did Colton sort of play?
He did. No. Himself.
Who did Colton sort of play?
Himself did.
Right. Did he sort of play himself?
Yes, he did.
Did he sort of play Cassie?
No, she doesn't. She didn't.
Okay, listen again. Did he sort of play Cassie?
No, he didn't.
Good. So who did he sort of play?
He sort of played himself.
Good. So who is Colton about to lose? Who is Colton about to lose?
Colton's about to lose.
Short answer. Short answer.
The girl that he loved.
Right. I know it's Colton, and I know he's about to lose her. Good. So you just need to give me the girl that he loves part. Good. Is Colton about to lose his boyfriend?
No. No, he isn't.
Good. Very good. So who is Colton about to lose?
The girl that he loved.
Good. Good. So whose fault is it that Colton is about to lose the girl that he loves? Whose fault is it?
It falls on a perverse way.
So, easy answer. Whose fault is it?
The girl that he loved.
Whose fault is it? Who is responsible? Who made it happen? Look at the highlighted blue screen. Whose fault is it?
It's kind of his fault.
Right. Is it kind of his fault?
Yes, it is.
Is it kind of her fault?
No, it isn't.
So whose fault is it?
It's kind of his fault.
Very good.
Thanks, teacher.
You bet. Juan Jose, are you there? Maybe not. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. You want to start right here with, I think that it backfired?
Okay. I think that it backfired because then they were like, wow. We thought it was Hannah because you kept telling us even on your list when you'd rank them, Hannah's one. Continue.
Okay. Go ahead and continue to the end of Colton's. Yeah.
And so in the end, Cassie ends up basically sort of breaking up with you and leaving, right? Yeah. So we walked and I just get up and we start walking to the car. And it was in the dark. I remember there was a sidewalk we were supposed to stay on. It was completely lit and it was like we're not staying on the sidewalk. Like I started right then and there, I was like, I'm not doing showy things anymore. I'm not doing things just to go through the motions of being the bachelor.
Excellent. Very, very good. Okay. So lots of idiom here, lots of words together, right? Go through the motions. I know we've talked about some of these before, but go through the motions, doing showy things. We talked about the difference between showy as it's normally used, like something that stands out or is in contrast, and the way he uses it here, which is about things having to do with the Bachelor television show, right?
Yes.
Sort of, which means the same as kind of. It means it just softens. Instead of saying, and so Cassidy ends up breaking up with you and leaving, she says, basically, sort of breaking up with you and leaving. So it makes it not such a hard, because breaking up is a hard phrase. It's both difficult emotionally for people to break up, right? And it's very hard just to say break up. So she's trying to make that softer and say basically, sort of, kind of, break up with you and leaving, okay? Backfired, we talked about backfired, okay? So we've talked about that. These are some somewhat difficult words, maybe not as difficult for you because there's some Spanish conjugates, but inanimate, not animate, and sentient, I think is the same in Spanish, right? Sentience. And,
Yes, teacher.
and I think perverse is close too, although we're not talking about perverse in the perverse bad way, in just, it just means in a bad way or in a very unlikely or unexpected way, right? Something that nobody would have expected. Okay, so Michael, why does Colton think that it backfired? Why does he think that it backfired?
Because they thought it was Hannah.
Good. Because they thought it was Hannah because he kept telling them, even on his list, when he'd rank them, Hannah's one, right? We have to change the perspective from Colton talking about it to us talking about Colton and saying, why did Colton think it was, right? Because he thought that they thought because he kept telling them, even on his list. Got it?
Yes, teacher. Short answer. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, it
Okay.
was long. Yes.
No. Okay, now, okay, you could try that too. What would be the best short answer? Why does Colton think that it backfired? I think we could do it in 3 words. What did he do to cause this? What did he do to cause this whole problem? He ranked Hannah 1, right? The whole problem was because he ranked Hannah number 1, he thinks.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so in the end, does Cassie basically sort of break up with Colton?
Yes, she does.
Good. Who ends up basically sort of breaking up with Colton and leaving?
Cassie does.
Okay. Was the sidewalk completely lit?
Yes, it was.
Was the sidewalk partially lit?
No, it wasn't.
So what was the sidewalk?
It was completely lit.
How was the sidewalk lit?
Sorry, could you repeat it again? Sorry.
How was the sidewalk lit?
Completely.
Good. Did Colton think we're staying on the sidewalk?
No, he doesn't. Sorry, could you repeat the question? Sorry.
Good, okay. Did Colton think we're staying on the sidewalk?
No, he didn't.
Good. What was Colton not doing anymore? What was Colton not doing anymore?
Doing showy things.
Right. Was he doing showy things anymore?
Yes, he was.
Was he doing showy things anymore?
No, he wasn't.
Good. Okay. I'm going to read this next section.
Okay.
Sandy. Well, actually, first, Michael, sorry. I'll read this next section, and I want you to think about an information question that you want me to ask me. Ask me a relatively simple information question that everyone can understand on one of these sentences, okay? So, I was starting to run through scenarios in my head as I put her in the van and said goodbye to her. I was like, all right, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to grab my wallet. First off, I got to get away from these people. I have to lose my mic. I have to lose the cameras. I have to just be by myself. And my plan was to get out of there and go grab a new passport, because they did have my passport. So I was like, I got my wallet. I have, okay. So, by the way, this is an interesting use. Because they did have my passport, that is an awkward way to say that. You would normally say because they had my passport. They had my passport. We know that. So you're going to ask the question, why does he say did have my passport? Okay, because he wants to emphasize. He wants to tell us, oh, they did have my passport. Okay, it's an extra word to emphasize that he did not have his passport. Okay, so anyway, Michael, go ahead. Question?
Yeah, teacher, a question before that you say, the same happens when we use do. For example, I do know, it's like emphasize that I really know that. Yes?
Yes, but you don't use it very much. They use it in certain parts of the country a lot. Like, it sounds to me as if Colton is from maybe not Texas, but somewhere in the South or in the part of the United States that uses a lot of this. They use this structure a lot. Most other places don't say this unless you're really looking to emphasize something, okay? This is almost always an error.
Oh, okay.
But it is acceptable if you're using it to contrast or emphasize something. So, if I wanted to say, if somebody asked me if I might have forgotten my passport, and I say, I went to the airport, no, I didn't forget it. I did have my passport, right? Where I would normally just say I had my passport. But if there's some question about whether I had my passport, I would say, yes, I did have my passport. Okay? Or if a customs agent asks me, sir, do you have your passport? I would normally, actually, I would not normally answer the question. I would just give him my passport, or I would say, yes, I do. Yes, I do have my passport is very formal and sounds a little different. I would normally just say, yes, I have my passport. Unless there was some question about whether I have my passport, and I would say, no, I don't have my passport, sir. Okay?
Okay, teacher. So I'm going to ask you.
About my passport?
No, I think you have your passport in rule. Okay. So, what was he starting to run?
What was Colton starting to what?
To run. Or maybe where was Colton starting to run?
No. It's good. It's you made a very good sentence, but you didn't continue it all the way through. This is a call location, and you have to say run through.
Okay.
Because this is an abstraction where you're not physically running, you are looking through scenarios. Okay, sorry, I was confused. So try again, same sentence,
So-
sorry.
What was Colton starting to run through?
Scenarios in his head.
Where is he going to go?
Where is Colton going to go? Upstairs.
Is he going to grab his wallet?
Yes, he is.
What does he have to lose?
His mic and his cameras. His mic and the cameras, sorry.
Good. What is his plan?
To get out of there and go grab a new passport.
Why does he want to get out of there and go grab a new passport?
Because they have his passport. Very good. Very good questions. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Somebody didn't respond. Now I forget who it was. Was it Jason? No, was it Jonathan? Jonathan? Juan Jose didn't respond. Juan Jose, are you there?
He said he didn't
Teacher,
have a microphone.
No, a microphone.
Microphone problem. Okay, sorry. Jonathan Garcia. Jason Salazar. A new student or no?
Hello. No,
Hi, Jason.
Yes, I changed my name. Only Jason with J before with Y.
Okay, good. Okay, so can you take this paragraph? Colton says.
Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm dumb. I wanted to be dumb. I didn't want to talk to the people on the show. I was about to pay for my own flight to get home. I literally was done talking to everybody. So I went up, I grabbed my wallet, and I remember opening the door, and the first thing I see is a camera right there.
Okay, excellent. What is the first thing Colton saw?
The first things Colton saw a camera right there.
Is a camera the first thing that Colton saw?
Yes, it is.
Is a dog the first thing that Colton saw?
No. No, he didn't.
Is a dog the first thing that Colton saw?
No, it isn't.
Yes. No, it wasn't. Saw,
wasn't,
past tense.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what's the first thing that Colton saw?
The first things that Colton he sees was a camera.
The first thing that Colton saw was a camera.
Okay.
One more time.
The first things that Colton saw was a camera.
Excellent. Did Colton want to be done? Did
Yes.
Colton want to be done?
Yeah, yes, he did.
What did Colton want to be?
She wanted to be done.
Short answer. What did Colton want to be?
Done.
Good. Did Colton want to be in an airplane?
No, he didn't.
So what did Colton want to be?
He wanted to be done.
Good. Did he want to talk to the people on the show? Did he want to talk to the people on the show?
No, he didn't.
Good. Excellent. Was he about to pay for his own flight to get home?
Yes, he did.
Was he about to pay for his own flight to get home?
Oh, yes, he was.
Good. Always remember, you don't have to usually make up new words. You have to use the word that you heard in the question.
Okay. Okay,
Good.
thank you, teacher.
Good job.
Okay.
Jenny, are you a new student? No, you're not a new student, right? You've been
Hey,
here before.
teacher.
Yes.
I'm Jonathan. I want to try.
Oh, Jonathan. Okay. We'll see
Yes,
if Jenny. We'll see if Jenny comes. Okay, Jonathan. Next paragraph, please. Can you read this, please?
Okay. And if I had any regrets, I don't know how to pronounce. Regrets. Okay. And if I had any regrets from the night, the only regret would be is actually hitting and putting a hand on the camera, because that's not my property, but I was hit it. So I hit the camera just to get it out of my way and went down the stairs, and that's when I ended my mic.
Mic.
My mic, okay.
Mic is for microphone.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. So, when did Colton undo his mic? When?
Okay, can you repeat the sentence?
When did Colton undo his mic?
Colton undo his mic. Stairs. When down the stairs?
Yes. You can say when he went down the stairs or after he went down the stairs. Good.
Okay.
Why did Colton hit the camera? Why did Colton hit the camera? Two possible, two answers possible.
Because he get it out of my way, of his way.
Right. To get it out of his way. So,
okay.
Why did Colton hit the camera?
To get it out of his way.
His
way. Okay, yes, I understand. To get it out of his way.
Right. What's the other reason Colton hit the camera? There is reason number 2. Why?
Because
yeah.
Because he was heated.
Because he was heated. What does that mean? What is this?
No.
What does that mean? Colton was heated.
No, actually, I don't know. Actually, I don't know, but I understand the sentence. No.
Okay. Do you know what heat is?
No, actually, I don't know.
Okay.
What it means, this word.
Who wants to explain what heat is? What and being heated means?
In the context.
When you are angry.
Okay. Yes. I understand. I remember. Yes.
Okay. So heat is calor, yeah? So is that right or no? Different word.
Yes, it's more caliente.
Caliente.
Okay.
So
okay, it's something similar when someone is annoyed or something like that.
It's more than just annoyed. It's very angry. When you're very angry, you are hot. You are heated.
Okay.
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 Very, very good. So,
Okay.
and we know, class, I don't know what the prize is yet, but I'll get one. From 1 to hot, what is Colton?
Maybe you 7.
Yeah.
I see
Situation.
his picture and I think it's a simple guy. But Marco, it's 100.
She's not allowed to say. She's not allowed to say hot to Colton.
No, Colton isn't hot.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Where where is his
I
picture?
think the same. Like
You can
Mariana.
find him in YouTube. You can.
Well, yeah, we saw that picture of him. I didn't. Are there better pictures of him on YouTube?
Yes.
He's not hot.
So is
And
this
yeah.
Colton?
No.
Which one is Colton? Is this Colton here?
Yeah, maybe he is.
All right. Well, let's look here.
Colton and Cassie.
This is Colton and Cassie?
Yes. They are a couple now.
But he seems handsome, no? Or
You don't think he's good looking? Look at this guy.
I no, for me not too.
For me
Ay,
neither.
ay, ay. Okay.
I don't like it.
I think she's better. She's better, Casey.
You like Cassie better?
but you don't think
Yes.
so?
Sure.
I think she's more pretty than he is handsome.
Huh, interesting. All right. So how if we look at Colton from 1 to 10 on intelligence, how smart is Colton 1 to 10?
Maybe a 3.
Think so? You think about a 3?
Yes. Maybe it's too innocent, or maybe it's just a character for the show. But I think that all of that situation or things that they happened or live, it's too, how do you say, predictable?
Mm-hmm. Scripted. Everything is written down. So yes, very predictable, very part of a story.
Yes,
That is,
just a soap opera.
It is just a soap opera, and in this case, they had a little problem because the actors did not want to play the part anymore. So, okay.
Yes.
So we are close to the end of the day. Questions? Anything that I can answer?
No.
Okay. So tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday afternoon, we still have a matrix class, and I don't have the link yet, but I will ask Alex for it immediately so that we have it by tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay,
Thanks.
Okay, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thanks.
Sure.
Teacher, will you send the link by WhatsApp group?
I will. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll send it in the WhatsApp group, and also I think well, no, Alex probably won't put it on the website. I don't know. He might put it on the website too, but I think it's just everybody from the WhatsApp group. So we don't need to put it on the website.
Teacher,
Okay, teacher.
how will be the dynamic of the matrix class? When are we going to interpret every character?
Well, that is something I want to talk about in our first class. Because it really depends on remember, what is my goal? What do we have to do? We have to keep it interesting. So if people are bored and they're not excited about it, and they'll stop, right? So we want people to come back. So one thing I want you to do, that's why I gave you characters, so that you can talk, so that you can learn about your characters, because I want you to eventually talk about your characters in class. But the second thing I would like to do is talk about which sections are the most interesting sections to you for the dialogue, for the speaking. So the beginning is an easy section, right? We just have Trinity and Cypher talking to each other, right? It's just a little bit of conversation, so it's easy to start. And then I would like us to go to other parts of the Matrix movie that are interesting to you, learn the dialogue, learn the words, learn how to say those words, and then we will do them in class. You will act out the movie in class, and you will learn to say those words.
Teacher, the idea is to watch the whole movie before the class, right?
If you can. Not everybody has access to the movie, so I sent the audio files. Has everyone seen the audio files?
Yeah.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Okay, I tried to put one big file up so that you could listen to all of it in one file, but the file was too big. It would not go up. I'm going to try again today, but just for listening, I think that's probably a good idea, the 5-minute files, because you can put them on your phone and listen to them, right? You can, just listen to little bits when you have time. And so that's my plan, would be to talk about which are the most interesting parts of the movie to you. And then those are the parts that we focus on in class. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Excellent, teacher.
And then what I would like you to do, unless you know my philosophy, I want you to do what you like to do. So if you don't like to use a dictionary, and you don't like to look up words, and you don't want to use a an SRS or any of that, that's fine. But you will have to somehow find a way to memorize words in context. A word in a sentence, in a paragraph, so that you understand the word in the sentence, and the sentence in the paragraph eventually, right? You won't learn it immediately. You can learn one word immediately, but that is not how you will learn English. All of you know English very well. So we just have to move you ahead and become more fluent, so that when you speak, you don't have to think. You automatically say the same thing, the right thing, sorry. And Valentina will say it like Trinity, right? Aurelus, I forget, who are you again, Aurelus?
I am the white rabbit. I can't remember the name.
Oh, you're de jure.
Joshua.
You're de jure, yes. I think you only have, I don't think you only have one word to say, right?
Yes, I think so.
What's your word? What's your word?
Come on, it will be interesting. Something
It will
like
be
that.
fun. She says it will be fun. Okay. Right, so you have 2 lines, because the other thing she says is definitely, right?
Definitely.
Doesn't she say definitely?
Right. Yes. Yes. With a sexual
yes,
look.
very sensual. Yes, with her,
yes.
Yes. But she's actually an interesting character, and the White Rabbit is interesting. I sent you some information on White Rabbits, so I want you to tell us about White Rabbits eventually in the future, right? I want you to know everything about that part of the character.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
All right.
It's okay.
So we will talk more about that on Saturday, but that's the general idea. And then eventually it would be fun when I come to Columbia. If we're, I don't know, who's Who is in Pereira? Very few people, right? Or a lot of people in Pereira?
No, teacher, I'm not in Pereira.
No? Okay.
No.
I'm in Pereira.
No.
Okay. Sometime we will all get together either online or somewhere and watch The Matrix together. Okay?
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yes.
Great.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. See you
Yes.
tomorrow.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
teacher.
you, teacher.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
See you
you.
soon.
Tomorrow.
See you soon.